This is the Honda CBR 125, which I've been rebuilding, and it's almost done. I got most of the way in the last video and did a bit off camera, so I've put together all of this front end. So fitted the clocks, the screen, the mirrors, the headlight. So this front end is now sorted. The radiator is in place, engine is good. So there's a few things that I need to do, so let's get into it and fix this bike. The rear brake is quite stiff and it's hard to push the bike along, so I need to give it a good service. So I'm going to take this pin out, remove that, and then I need to get these pads out. They were quite stiff, but I've got them out. And now I need to take my spanner and undo this nut. I'm going to pump the brake so that the piston comes all the way out, and then it looks like it's about there, and I'm going to catch it, and let's see if I can do it on camera. I'm going to cause a huge mess probably. Just pull this out. Down. Always have newspaper ready. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I should do this off camera. However, I can't let my viewers down. Anyway, so that's done. Let's clean this brake up. This is the piston which I removed from the brake. And here I've got my drill with a brass attachment, and I'm going to use that drill to just clean off all the corrosion from the piston and see if it will clean up. I've cleaned up the inside of the caliper, and I'm going to use my finger in a second to apply some of this grease inside there so that when I push the piston in, it will move freely. This piston will now move freely inside the caliper. So it's freed up and it's time to reassemble. I'm going to remove this wheel so that I can get the tyre changed. Wait a second. Well, this is it. This is the tyre machine. I've just got it back to my workshop and it looks sick. It's a huge piece. It weighs 175 kilos and I've just had to lift it out all on my own with the help of my able cameraman or woman. But yeah, here it is. It's a really cool piece of machine. It's going to help me change tyres like nobody's business, and it will just remove so much time and so on from the process of actually repairing one of these 125 motorbikes. So I'm really excited to have it on board, and yeah, let's get it in and let's see how it looks. And boom, that's how you put a tyre machine in your workshop. So here it is, it's in situ. Still need to remove it from this trolley, but this is going to be an ultimate addition. And by the way, I know a video is coming out very shortly, but a quick plug, this is my Porsche, which I'm going to start work on extremely soon. And I cannot wait. I've cleared out a lot of stuff from the space here, and I just can't wait to get going on it. I'm really energized about getting stuck into this project. Okay, time out. I'm not energized about the Porsche. I've let it sit there for a long time and not done any work on it. If you want to see me rebuild that Porsche on YouTube, please blow up the comments and let me know. It's time to change this Honda CBR 125 rear tyre. So I'm going to use the tyre machine arm to pop the tyre off the tyre wall. To do that, just rotate it again. So I've pulled off the tyre from the rim, and then I'll just put it down on my jaws, and I need to get them all the way out. And buggery of all buggeries, this wheel is too big, so I'm going to have to move my jaws. So maybe if we try going out to the jaws here. This is quite a good tyre machine. This would have been a lot of money, brand new. I got it for 500 quid on Facebook, so a really good deal. Right, so now that's done, I can clamp the wheel up there. So now that's done. Now what I'm going to do is push this down and clamp that into place there. Cut. To effectively remove your tyre, you have to make sure it's down past the edge of the rim. Then that gives you some freedom. And then I'm going to get my tyre lever, push it in here, and need to make sure it's loose all the way around. And then this should just pop up there, and then I can just spin this wheel. There we go. So I'm just spinning my wheel, and it's just cutting the tyre off of the rim. And then I'll put my lever back down, and you have to kind of go through like that, and then back up, and then spin it again. For some reason it's a bit low pressure. I'm just giving it a helping hand. And that's done. And then I can just get this out of the way, and that's a tyre off of the rim. One new wheel with a new tyre ready to be fitted onto the bike. The tank lock does not open because this key just doesn't turn it. So I'm going to remove the lock. I won't show that on camera. Here's my new lock, and I can just push it into place. My handlebar is bent and I need to straighten it. So I've got it under tension under this press. And now I'm going to apply some heat to the handlebar, and I'll repaint it afterwards. And all I'm doing here is, with the handlebar under load, I'm going to heat it up if the wind will let me, and just see if I can ease it back into shape. Much better to do it when it's heated up because the metal will move more freely. I need the throttle twist grip from this bar, so I'm going to cut it up with my angle grinder so I can pull it off. I've put the straightened handlebar back on the bike. The throttle grip is back on with a load of grease under there. Starter switch and the front brake master cylinder have all been put back on. I've refitted the belly pan. I need to remove the cap here so that I can bleed the back brake. There is no brake fluid in this back brake, so I need to fill it up. The way that I bleed rear brakes is I just pump the rear brake like this and then hold it down, and then release the rear bleed nipple while the foot is pushed down, and then put it back again, and that builds up some pressure in the system, and then it shoots up all the bubbles up out of here. Rinse and repeat quite a few times and you should have a hard brake. After bleeding the brake, my fluids are quite low, so I'm going to top them back up to the upper level. I found this red cover and I'm going to use my sandpaper to clean it with white spirit and then spray it black. You get the idea. I have some new antifreeze, so let me top it up. Try and do it on camera but also not spill it on the floor. And I also need to top up the coolant reservoir under the seat, which I'll do off camera. A good looking box has arrived. Let's open this thing up and see if anything good is inside. Rip that guy apart. We have got some inner fairings and some trims. These are for the side fairings. So all of these Honda fairing bits need to go together. That's the side fairing. That one goes just inside of this one, and then this piece comes up and attaches on there. So I'm going to assemble all of these and put them on the bike. My fairing is assembled and it will just sit up on the bike like this, so I'll bolt it into place. This bike is done and it turned out quite nicely. I need to take off these red bits, they aren't correct for a black bike, and I lost one of the trims here that's somewhere around the place, so I need to do that afterwards, and I need to finish up the chain and sprockets later. But this bike turned out quite nicely, so it's got a good rear tyre now, painted exhaust, rebuilt rear brake caliper. This is all new and sorted. Engine is from a 2017 model, so that's quite nice, low mileage. Fairings are factory to the tank and all of that. So yeah, turned out well. It will be cheap, but it will be sold as well, out of my life and on to the next one. Thanks for being here. Do hit subscribe and like this video. See you again very soon.